So living in regional Queensland, if you can find a good GP in a rural community, they're the ones who are busy. So at the moment, or when I had the stroke, we had a GP that was really good in Emerald. He was really hard to get into, and the family, the wife and kids, through her maternity, was able to get to this doctor. And I wasn't so lucky, but after the stroke, he said he would take me on. He would monitor your progress through the physiotherapy and would also encourage you to look after all of the different goals, making sure that you are stepping forward. But he's also continued with blood tests to make sure that you are not more prone for stroke. And he does like to see you on a regular basis. There wasn't anything medically that caused my stroke other than a hole in the heart, which is fixed. He still looks after my health, and he's probably what you want to have in a GP.
I've searched out many different health professionals to find people that are able to explain to me what's going on in my own brain in a way that shows that they actually understand what my experience is, but in a way that I can understand it.
Because originally they missed it in the first place. You know, like I went there on the Monday complaining of a sore neck. She gave me a thing to get an x-ray and the thing to have a CAT scan. But she said, don't worry about the CAT scan, we'll leave that for a week. And if you've still got it after a week, then we'll have a CAT scan. But if I'd had the CAT scan, it would have picked it up straight away. Lucky she picked it up then, because all I wanted to do was go home and go to sleep. So lucky she picked it up.
I went to the doctor and said, you have to make a decision. You have to either admit him or send him home, because he's had a major stroke 12 months ago. He's exhausted, we've got to do something. So he said, well, if he can get up and walk, he can go home. So he got him up and he staggered down the corridor with his walking stick, and he said, oh, he can go home. The next day he had another major stroke, and he was having a hemorrhage the second time. Our own doctor said, when I spoke to him, he was very angry. He could not understand why a man who had had a major stroke 12 months ago and was exhibiting further signs of stroke would have been sent 40 kilometres out to Sunbury at midnight. But unfortunately, that's what happened.
In terms of finding the right people, I was very lucky. Our GP had moved from Sydney, and his advice was in all of this is to try everything and keep two things in mind. Go in with no expectation and make sure it doesn't cost you thousands of dollars. So I've used that advice.
I think it's important to have trust in your GP. Even though he's giving you advice that you may not agree with, he is the doctor, but they're human tradesmen. So if you aren't happy with the one that you have, go find one that you do.